Hey guys, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm. By day, I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, quilt, sew, and cook. And today I'm going to teach you how to create the moss stitch in crochet. So the moss stitch in crochet is a nice dense stitch. It's great for winter items where you need to stay warm. It also has a different little detail to it, and it's actually quite popular in crochet today. So let's get a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos. And also give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. So for the moss stitch, we actually need to start with an even number of stitches or chains. So I'm going to start here for this tutorial with 12 chains. So if you need to see how to chain in slower, more detailed movements, I'm going to include a link to a video below, and you can check that out. It takes us way slower through how to chain. So I've got my loop on my hook, so I'm going to start by chaining 12. So there's 1, 2, so there's 12. So I have chained 12 here, and you can see it's a bunch of V's. So for the actual moss stitch, we're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So not this one, not this one, not this one, but this one. So I'm going to put my thumb right there by that chain I'm going to go into. So we're 1, 2, 3, and 4 is where we're going to place our first stitch here. So I'm going to take my hook. Now for this tutorial, I'm putting 2 loops of the chain on top and 1 on the bottom. Just follow what your pattern tells you to do. So I'm going to place a single crochet in that 4th chain from the hook. Then I'm going to chain 1. Now I'm not going into the next chain. I'm actually going to skip this one, and I'm going to go into this next chain, and I'm going to place a single crochet. If you need to see how to single crochet in slower, more detailed movements, I'm going to include a link to a video below there. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip this chain, go into the next one, place a single crochet, chain 1. So for the moss stitch, it's really a single crochet followed by a chain 1, and then you're skipping stitches. So we're not going into this chain, we're going into this one. We're going to place a single crochet. We're going to chain 1, skip that chain. We're going to go into this last chain and place a single crochet. And that's the first row of the moss stitch. So now we're going to add to this here, and we're going to do that by beginning our next row by chaining 2 and then turning. After we've chained 2 for the second row here, we're going to place our very first single crochet into this gap here that was created by the chain 1 and the skipped stitch from the previous row. So we're not actually going into stitches, we're going into the space that was created by the chain 1 and the skipped stitch. So we're actually going right here. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Hopefully you can see that space. I'm going to go into there, and then I'm going to chain or a single crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to skip over this stitch, over this single crochet from the previous row, go into the next gap here that was created by the skipped stitch and the chain 1, and then I'm going to place a single crochet. Chain 1, skip, go into the gap, place a single crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into this space, place our single crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, and then our very last single crochet for this row is actually going to go into that space that was created by the first 4 chains that we skipped. So right here into this space is where we're going to place that last single crochet. And that's the second row of the moss stitch. So then we'll go on to the next row. We'll go 1, 2, we're chaining 2, and then turning. And just like the previous rows here, we're going to go into the gap that was created by the chain 1 and the skipping of a stitch. So that's where we're going to place our first single crochet. We're going to chain 1, we're going to skip this stitch and go into this space here, place a single crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into this space instead right here, place a single crochet, chain 1, skip this stitch, go into the space created by the chain 1, place a single crochet, chain 1, and then in the very last space here, this is our chain 2, our turning chain that we had from the previous row. So this is our chain 2 from that previous row. So this might be the hardest placing of a hook. We're not going into this single crochet right here. We're going to kind of shove it to the side, and we're going into this smaller space here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so maybe we can see it. We're going to go right here into this space that was created by the chain 2 turning chain, and we're going to place our last single crochet. So there's 2 rows of a moss stitch. So again, every row we're going to chain 2 and then turn, and our first single crochet is going to be placed in the gap that was created by a chain 1. So right here, then chain 1, skip, go into this space created by that chain 1 in the skipped stitch, place a single crochet, chain 1, skip that stitch, go into this space. And that's the moss stitch for you. It's basically a single crochet followed by a chain 1, and then you skip a stitch and go into the space that was created by the chain 1. And that's how you keep continuing that moss stitch all the way across. If you keep going, it's going to eventually look like this. It gives a nice kind of a thick, interesting, detailed crocheted stitch. So hopefully you can see that. And literally this little space right, this is the single crochet that has gone into that chain 1 space. So hopefully you guys can see that. So if you keep going and keep building upon it, this will eventually look like this. Of course, this is done a little bit bigger. And that's the moss stitch. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notifications, and give me a like or a comment here. I hope you guys have a blessed day.